And that's how you start.
What's up? Right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the Nerdic Pro podcast. How are we this evening? Welcome back to YouTube. My name is, as per usual, Bobby effing SOLESTIAL. With me on that side is Nerdic Pro co-host, Mr. Richie, cooler than Bobby, you dickhead. Right. I've got the stream loaded up behind, and I've just seen the little banner thing.
For ages.
Right, so with us on the line here on YouTube are a couple of members of a Kings Lynn-based band here in Norfolk. Is it a 5-piece metal band that you guys are?
It is indeed.
Yep. Known as Celestial.
Celestial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we are. I've been pronouncing it wrong for ages now, but
reading's not a strong point.
Dyslexia, as they call it, Richie. But you know, I assume Liam is on the left and Jesse's on the right, or the other way around.
Yeah, Jesse. My hands are yeah.
Right, so with us
it's
on the line
going round as the names displayed.
Yeah, basically, yeah. We try to be as confusing as humanly possible whenever we speak to people, just to add a little bit of extra spice to things.
Right, so with us on the line are Liam and Jesse from Celestial. We may be being joined by a couple more members of Celestial soon, depending on their schedule, but hey ho. Would you guys like to properly introduce yourself to the audience? Because obviously you guys know you guys better than what we do. Introduce yourself, sort of bring us up to how you got involved in music, etc., and how Celestial actually first came to light.
Oh, I'm Liam. I'm the harsh vocalist or screamer for Celestial. I started to do harsh vocals when I was about 13 or 15, and was active in the local scene for a little bit, stopped doing it and kind of fell away from doing music for a while. And then a couple of years ago, decided I wanted to get back into it and bumped into a friend of mine night out, said that I was looking for a band, and he put me in touch with Jesse, Rob, George and Perry.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm Jesse. I am guitarist and clean vocals for Celestial. I've been playing guitar for around 16 years. I've been in various bands throughout time since probably when I was about 14. I first joined Celestial purely clean vocals when I went to a practice with them. Probably what was that, about 5-6 years.
I don't know, mate. I was there.
About 5-6 years. And it wasn't long after that where the original guitarist left, and I ended up playing guitar, and never really looked back. So that's how it is now.
Nice. So, sort of talk us through the sort of time actually from when Celestial was just an idea to actually first getting started. How and talk us through your first sort of couple of gigs or your first recordings, etc. Like how did they all sort of first come about?
Well, the foundations of Celestial kind of happened about 7 years ago, and obviously none of us were actively involved in that at that point. It was Rob and George started jamming together, and then over time, obviously members joined, left, Jesse joined, and obviously responsibility of guitar and vocals. Alex joined the band 6 months, a year after you joined, or was it longer?
That was a fair while after. I'd say it was probably a good couple of years after. Yeah, because we had the original drummer for a while. Joined a good couple of years after. and then it was getting floated as the idea of actually having like the band as a band and like band names and like having songs put together, and they started like becoming something that we were like working on properly. And then obviously we had the band at that time we were four, but we thought like kind of needed something extra, like something to really like push it to what we want to be. Obviously that is when Ted got involved. Yeah, kind of went from there, to be honest.
Yeah, so I joined September 2022. I joined the band, and initially it was just, we went round, had a quiet practice in Rob's front room, and then a couple of weeks later we had a full practice where I was actually allowed to do vocals without pissing the neighbours off, and kind of stuck from there. We've been about since we started gigging. Just over a year ago, we played our first show.
Nice.
Yeah,
To the Masses was our debut, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was.
And then since that, we've just been doing shows really and just working on music.
See, we've not long. We're about 2.5 weeks removed from releasing our debut EP. We're currently in the process of writing a follow-up to that EP as well, as kind of a transitional EP. So the EP that we've just released has been around for a while.
So the music that we're currently writing is slightly different, and obviously with that you kind of need a transition. You can't just go from one thing to another. Expect people to just follow that. You do need some sort of transition. That's obviously what we're working on, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
so
when you said about you joining about September 2022,
yeah,
that sort of made me laugh. So people know me and Rob have known each other since we were little kids. Literally in and out of each other's lives for like the last 30 years, right? There's not many people I can say that about. And so we sort of ended up at all different schools together and that. And then after we left school, it's everyone went their different ways and whatnot. Facebook blew up a few years later, at each other on Facebook, you had a little comment here and there. It weren't much. Around that time, he sent me a message once, just need your opinion on something. Sent me a thing for what you guys were doing, and so I told him what my thoughts now were. And he was like, "Yeah, so got this new band getting sorted. It's gonna blow up, blah blah blah, this, that, and the other." I was like, "All right, cool." And that's literally as you joined, Liam. Yeah, it's sort of that's sort of. Sorry, I'm rambling. I know what I'm trying to say. My mouth's no. But no, it's just cool on the fact that me and Rob got back into contact like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then it's literally from the start. It's not like you've been about for a bit, and then it's sort of that kind of exposure sort of thing. It's pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, in terms of everything that we've kind of done, since we've started gigging, started releasing music stuff, Rob quite says I was the final piece that then kicked else into motion. So realistically, you have seen it kind of develop and seen how things have come on from the start.
Actually kick off.
Yeah,
as soon as we joined, we started working hard. And, it really went into place, and we haven't really stopped since. To be honest with you, which is good.
Yeah, it's non-stop.
You said about with your first gig being the Metal to the Masses. So for those who don't know, Metal to the Masses is it's all regional competition, and the winner gets a spot at Bloodstock, which is one of the biggest metal festivals in Europe. Right? How did you guys get a spot on that? With that being your first gig together?
Well, so the way that Metal to the Masses works is anyone can sign up to it, as long as you're a band.
And you're not signed, I think, isn't it? It's basically signed bands.
Yeah, it's unsigned bands. So obviously Jesse and Alex have competed in it. what, 10 years ago?
10 years.
When you were 17?
Was actually 10 years. Mad, yeah. About 10 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, so the way it come about was quite funny because we were, it was about October or November, so I'd only been in the band for like a month or two, but we were already like, oh, we want to get out and we want to start gigging and stuff. And we were at a practice. Jesse just turned around and went, fuck it, shall we enter Metal to the Masses? I was like, yeah, why not? Let's do it. And obviously, I think you entered us like in it last year, didn't you? You done
ended it last year, man.
And then come to like February, I'm like, yeah, boys, we got our first gig. Here we go.
It's just like,
and we were like, well, shit, things are kind of like getting real now. We've actually got to like tighten up and make sure that we can get through a 25-minute set.
But as soon as you do that, like you're in motion. As soon as you're in motion, you really like get better.
Yeah,
as long as you work at it and keep going, you know what I mean?
So you kind of get a taste for it, don't you?
Yeah,
I know we all say it after every show that we play. We play a show, and obviously, like live music in itself, like just an enjoyable thing to go experience.
Get a buzz from
it. Doesn't matter if you're performing, if you go to watch, if you're in an 80,000 cap stadium or you're in a 50 cap local venue. It doesn't matter where you go. There's always a bit of buzz around live music, and we kind of like we go, we play a show, we come off stage, taking in the atmosphere. We're bumping into people and getting feedback, watching the other bands we're playing with, and it's like, fuck yeah, we want to do this every week.
And like you're seeing people turn up to like numerous like gigs that have been to your gigs before, and like no better feeling that like we weren't shit the first time, they've actually come back. Do you know what I mean? Like you love that. It's good.
I don't know anybody who's done that.
Nah.
Yeah.
Never seen. No, it's a nice feeling. You know what I mean? It's like, because obviously you go there, you have the buzz of the gig, and then like you get feedback from.
Alexa, shut up. Sorry. Sorry.
My name's not Alexa, mate.
Yeah, sorry. She started talking about random shit. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Carry on.
Oh no, I was done actually. To be fair, yeah, I'm good. Good man.
So, when it comes to songwriting, what's like your process for it? Like,
that's so. Obviously, with regards to the EP that has come out already, a lot of those songs, or the basis for a lot of those songs, were written by Rob.
Yeah.
So Rob is multi-instrumental. He can play drum, he can play guitar, he can sing. So
definitely every foundation for them songs. I mean, like I'd say that they changed a lot with everyone else's inspiration, like when it came to it. But the foundation of all of the songs on the EP were Rob's, basically.
Yeah, the bones and the foundations, like Jesse said, were laid by Rob for the EP. And then as every member's kind of come to it.
Put their piece in, it's become what it become.
So for me, for example, obviously when I joined, there was no screamed vocals on the EP whatsoever. You wanker. So there was a couple of bits here and there that I wrote, like there was a verse here or like lines here that I added, like I think this would sound good, or I can make it work. But a lot of it was being practice, hearing kind of what Jesse was singing, the way it was going, and then picking the spots where screamed vocals would make a good overdub and would add like a contrast to the clean vocal. And then the longer that we were practicing, the longer that we were like working things out, then I gradually got given more and more stuff. So like Stay, for example, the third track on the EP, originally both verses were sung, and then I think it was the day of Metal to the Masses.
You're not supposed to say
Rob turned around and was like, you know what, I think you can scream them. So I was like, yeah, cheers, Rob.
And then
cheers, mate. And then it just stuck.
They kept and yeah, obviously without saying, obviously we got heavier as soon as they joined, because it gives you another, like dimension. Another path to go. Yeah, and that's obviously where we were looking. We wanted to be heavier, and that's obviously what's happening.
And then now, see, with writing the second EP, it's becoming a lot more of a group affair.
Yeah, kind of everyone involved. and obviously we still go away and do our separate things, but it is more of like a group effort, and and then I assume that's kind of where the different sounds come from, because now everyone has got laying a lot more down.
So like see, there are 2 songs that we've already confirmed to be on the EP. That one of them realistically probably should have been the EP that we just released,
because we've been playing it live.
Yeah, we've been playing it live nearly a
The
year.
one I'm thinking of.
Snakes. Yeah. So
literally, that is my favourite song by you guys, hands down.
But everything that you've released so far, and everything up until July, hated it. But now, boys, that's the song that
I hated that much. I go the other side of the county, pay my fuel, pay my entrance fee. I hate it. I just come over for Snakes, and that's it. As soon as you played that, boom, I'm gone.
Yeah, to be fair, you can't hear it anywhere else, so I assume that is probably what you.
Yeah, but so realistically, that probably should have been on the EP Exordium that we've just released, but it wasn't. But
and it is slightly different to the music.
Yeah, so
that's where that bridge is now being.
Yeah, so this is where the idea of having like another EP to kind of like block the gap to like as the transition has been, because Snakes in itself is probably the heaviest song that we play live at the moment.
It was the latest one to be written.
Yeah, and then
at that time
we've got a song that we're close to having ready for live performances at the moment that just took another step and
towards that heavy.
Yeah.
So like it's looking like it's veering that way, if you know what I mean. And obviously, if it veers that way, it's very harsh to just expect everyone to go from listening to what they had on the EP, which was very melodic and like very progressive, to something different. So that's why we're trying to bridge the gap with something that's slightly in between.
It's still going to be, it's still going to be progressive. It's still going to be melodic, but it's also going to be a lot heavier and a lot more hard hitting than some of the stuff on the EP.
Yeah, more powerful. Yeah. So it's kind of we're working to just keep everyone happy still, I suppose.
And I think the way that we go about writing it does let people, shine out in their own individual aspects, and you can really tell where some of our own individual influences come in.
Because it shines through in the music. Like it's, I mean, like when people say, "Oh, what genre?" You can't really give them an answer. There's a little bit of everything there. Why? Yeah, I feel that it does appeal to a lot of people because there is definitely something in there for everyone, but we're not guaranteeing that on the new stuff. So that's why we want to bridge. That's how it is,
Yeah, I mean, you always say about being a progressive metal band. I was going to ask about that because there's certain songs that are very metalcore, like some have got like a new metal kind of twang to it. Some are quite a bit like I'll say emo influences, but like that's
But again, this is kind of why we say that we're a progressive metal band, because we don't feel like we fit in any particular subgenre. Yeah. It is there's heavy new metal influence, there's heavy core and deathcore influences. I'm sure that Perry's influenced by everything from fucking jazz up to like,
a little bit of everything.
Perry will take anything that has drums in it and he'll listen to it, and that affects his style of drumming. So, there is a little bit of everything, and we can't sit there and be like, oh, we stick to this genre, sound like this band, so that's where we are. We don't really pigeonhole ourselves. We're just like, we're progressive because we don't know what the fuck we call it.
We're trying to break out of the mold because we sound like everyone else, but then what are we actually achieving? It's try and sound like your own person, like.
You've got to have your own niche.
You have your own sound. Have your own sound,
especially with like a lot of bands will they will be heavily metalcore influenced. There'll be like black and death metal bands and stuff like that. Which there's no problem with that, but it seems like a lot of people want to start a black and death metal band or a sludge metal or a doom metal or a metalcore band, or So we're just trying to find that thing that really stand out from a lot of other bands that are popping up, especially in like the local scene at the moment.
Yeah, Just trying to do something a bit different.
Because, you know, as much as, you know, competition is good, that when it does come to the competition, it's always friendly competition. Obviously, you know, you get on with the guys, but the whole point of it is you're trying to get shows, you're trying to get your music out there. You need that unique selling point to be like, right, this is why you should put us on a show, why you should go and listen to our music.
Yeah. So so when obviously before you released the EP, you released a couple of weeks before and released Backwards as your single. Why was that selected?
It was because that was probably the nicest middle ground song that we kind
I feel like it has a bit of everything in it. So it is very melodic, but it also has a lot, like, you have driven riffs in there that, like, you can get, like, you know, get moving for. Like, it kind of showed a bit of everyone. Like, it had Rob's clean vocals on there, it had my clean vocals, it had Teg on there, it had nice drum pack. There's a lot of bass in there. Like, it has a bit of everything, and that was why, like, we ended up saying that should probably be the release single.
Yeah. So, like, one of the things I get complimented on quite frequently are the harmonies that Rob and Jesse have, and Backwards has a lot of vocal harmonies on it. So I demonstrated that thing that we have straight away. And, you know,
just play to your strengths.
Yeah, the majority of the song is clean with dub scream vocals, but there are some standalone scream vocals as well, so I could come through. Perry's drumming on there is probably his favourite drumming. Yeah, he's said a couple of times, between that and Control.
Yeah, he loves drumming on there.
So it just seems like a really strong song to go forward as a single. Because, you know, there were a couple talked about as potentially being a single.
We spoke about Control, but Control as it goes on, I feel like on the EP is probably the heaviest on there.
Yeah.
And it seemed kind of a bit, if we'd have, like, brought out our single, and then everyone goes and listens to it, and they're like, oh, we expect it to be like this heavy, and then it's not. Like, obviously, if with Backwards is that, like, perfect blend of heavy and, like, melodic, that if you listen to that and then listen to the EP and it was lighter, you wouldn't have minded. But if it's heavy, you don't mind also. Like, you didn't know what to expect from like having Backwards single. So I feel like that was why I selected, really.
It was the best representation of
what everyone could do.
Yeah, of where we were musically at the time. Yeah. With regards to the EP. And, you know, it wasn't going to sell you a dream. It was going to essentially give you, a lot of all the songs are melodic,
like an insight.
Is you know, all the songs are melodic. The choruses do get stuck in your head, and Backwards was an absolute fucker for that. The chorus sticks in your head for weeks at a time, and, like, yeah, it just seemed the strongest one to with all things taken into account.
Cool.
So with like your music, like as a whole, like, and with upcoming gigs and etc., like, would you guys say that you guys would prefer performing like your own music, or would you guys say that you would blend it in with a bit of what do they call it, like covers of like public domain music, like, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, so we are an originals band, and that's always gonna, we're never gonna turn around and be like, right, we're gonna learn, amount of covers to put on at a show. However, all of us are at the belief that it's worthwhile having a couple of covers in your back pocket.
It's never gonna hurt you to do one or two.
We done it last year. Speaking of, it was actually the
second gig, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It was our second gig, and we were, like, struggling for time for a set.
So we got asked to play.
Yeah.
We got asked to play a motorbike convention on the outskirts of Norwich.
Convention. Well, it was the motorbike. Yeah, it was a bike rally, and
that's it.
We played it, and it was only our second gig, and we were, like, still fairly fresh.
But they approached after a 45-minute set. We had 25 minutes of material with one song that we hadn't fully practiced yet, but getting ready at the time. Like, we'll throw that out there and see how that goes. And then we learn, I think, 3 covers to kind of beef the set list up a bit to push it.
So it's not like we haven't done covers. It's just that I wouldn't say we shy away from it. It's more just like, obviously we're trying to push original music as much as possible, but like definitely for like a good like atmosphere at a gig, say you're having a good show, and like even if someone asks for an encore, for example, and you have just run out of music and you have a cover that you can play, there is no harm in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
some a bit of a sing song on like Mr. Brightside or something like that.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
No, not that obviously, but you get what I mean. Though. It's sort of like
So what was done for those July shows? It was
we've done
End of High.
We've done Chop Suey as one, which was weird.
Yeah,
and then Duality.
Yeah.
So you got a few good songs in there.
And there are a couple that
we
have
are working.
Been spoken
we are
about.
working on some songs, some covers at the moment, but they're taking their time because we don't pick easy songs to play. But that's on us, I feel. So
yeah,
it's one of them.
I mean, like, where because I fully appreciate the fact that like everything's original and that, but like things like a Data Remembers cover of Since You've Been Gone,
yeah,
sort of stuff like that is great. Yeah, when a cover's done right, you know what I mean, it's sort of.
No, I completely agree with that.
This was actually a conversation that we had not too long ago with regards to like trying to get eyes on the band. Is like, if you do a cover right, it can
really pop off. Like
obviously you've got I Prevail. What was it they covered?
Blank Space.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift.
And yeah, like, you know, they've
done it well.
Yeah.
So it worked.
They've gone and took a really popular pop song, made it metal, done a good job of it, and I'm pretty sure it's their most streamed song on Spotify.
They kind of blew up because of it. It helped them so much. So like in that case, then there's no harm in doing it. It's just, if we're going to choose a song, we have to make sure we do it right, because it can really go wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sorry. I just there was something in my head that I was going to use as an example. I forgot what that bloody called, so I was bringing my playlist up. So,
I'm literally going to be back in 2 minutes. Dog's just barking. Bear with me 2 minutes.
Yeah, Our Last Night have got a lot of covers and they're done quite well. I don't know if you guys have heard them at all.
The name rings a bell, but
what have they covered?
Okay, the only one I've got is the ABCDEFU song. They covered that one. My missus has been listening to them like mad lately, because like she's not a metal fan, but like because they're kind of like got that metal / pop punk kind of.
So this is another. Well, like with regards to covers, when you take something that is so popular and mainstream, and then a metal band goes and does it, and a lot of the time, you know, it will be like, you know, like you say, it'll be pop punky or it'll be like metalcore. So you'll still have the cleans, but they'll slap a fucking heavy ass breakdown in, or they'll have a vocal going through it, and it can bring a whole new audience into metal as well. Because
you've still got the melodic part, which is what obviously that side of music is kind of into. So like it definitely does, and I think that's why like I Prevail worked.
Yeah,
because you would have had people that just like that song in general.
Yeah.
In general, that would have still listened to the metal cover because it was good. Do you know what I mean? It's done well.
Well, I mean, I remember sneaking what's it called, that Ed Sheeran song that he did with Bring Me Horizon.
Bad Habits.
Yeah, right. My missus loves the Sheeran version anyway, and I stuck the other one in her playlist, and now she can't listen to the original one. She's got to listen to the one with them in. So
it's one of them things. Is like, it's definitely merging a lot more. I feel like, especially recently, there's a lot more of like that side of music blending with this side, and it's good, because obviously like it gives you more range of what you can do then.
I also think with like you say, with the like how it's starting to blend, like, you know, your people that generically would only listen to like mainstream music or radio music, who are now, you know, they'll find a gateway band that will get them interested in metal, and then they'll start, you know, delving a bit deeper and deeper. I'm not saying that they're going to, you know, like they're going to go into metal.
Metalheads,
then, you know, they're not going to listen to like a Linkin Park song and then go straight onto Lorna Shore or something like that. but there'll be a gradual process going through. And I think like the way that TikTok has blown up, I think that's really been like social media has been a really effective tool for kind of bridging that gap where you used to have a clear divide between people that would purely listen to like mainstream music, people that would purely listen to rap music, people that would purely listen
it's
to
kind of all blending
like
into one now.
Yeah,
and, like music's just music. Like,
yeah,
and it's not as judged on like what you listen to now. It's like it's more judged on like the music involved. Like people will give like music that they didn't listen to before the time of day now because of stuff like TikTok, where it's like trends come out with stuff that they probably wouldn't listen to, but because it's trending, it's heard a lot. It's one of them. Like
you had people doing TikTok dances to Motionless in White, like
the whole Slipknot one as well.
That's another thing. To the
Like,
Macarena to
the old school new metal and early like metalcore was girly pop, and it's like Jesus fuck.
Yeah,
Christ,
what's happened?
You say about like social media and everything, right? I mean, like, I absolutely love Slaughter to Prevail, right? I had heard of them ages ago, but never actually like listened to them. It wasn't until the Demolition breakdown went like viral,
where he screams mic and then busts his forehead.
Sorry,
he screams without the mic, and you can hear him and smash himself in the head with the mic while the breakdown's hitting.
Well, like I said, I heard the Demolition breakdown, and I was like, okay, I gotta go find that, listen to that, and then I always butcher it. Is it Colostom? That album.
No, I'm not a massive Slaughter to Prevail fan, to be.
Listen the hell out of that, then start listening to other bits and pieces, and then since then it's things like, especially since Viking has come out, which not the last single to come out, single before. He does he started doing a thing where he would, he'd scream out unsatisfied primal fear, no mic, no nothing, just and people, and it's not just you can, it's in a room or of whatever venue it is and you can hear it. He's like bellowing this at a festival and everyone can hear it. So like those videos going around has got them sort of a lot of attention. The fact that I've not played it yet, but like one of their songs is in the new Call of Duty game on the campaign. Where the characters is Russian, he's working on his helicopter and he has Slaughter to Prevail blaring out, sort of thing. Right.
This is the power of social media, and like any kind of artist, any kind of band who's trying to make it, they are turning to social media a lot more now. Where like 20, 30 years ago, the only way that you were going to blow up was by taking them to a record label and hoping that they signed you, or playing on the local scene and then going to the regional scene and then going national and international. Now, if you have a decent video go up on TikTok, overnight you go viral, and all of a sudden thousands of people who would have had no idea who you are suddenly seeing you, they're seeing your music, and, finding the right people that are coming up. They're like, okay, like I like what I've seen of these guys, let's go and check them out, let's go and actually listen to the rest of their music. It's become a lot more effective. Obviously, as technology's advanced, the stage we're in at the moment, where you do see a lot of bands who are blowing up off the back of like finding success on TikTok. Like, and my favorite one to mention for that is Bad Omens all the time. But they had a song that blew up on TikTok, and they went from having like a cult following to being absolutely fucking huge, basically overnight.
Yeah. Going back to your EP. Where did the name Exordium come from?
Rob, I actually don't know where. I don't actually know where it came from, but
It came from Jess.
Was it Jess? Was it?
Yeah, I actually think it was.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was fucking Rob.
No, Rob was asking stuff, and I think it actually came from her.
Oh,
I'm not even lying. Yeah, weirdly enough, it came from my girlfriend. Yeah. I don't know why either. We were just running things, and Exordium, to be fair, it was kind of like we were looking for stuff, because obviously Celestial as the name is what it is, and we were looking for stuff that would make sense as like and we didn't want like a generic name, like and it kind of just, I don't know, it just happened.
Well, I don't know, because the name was already decided before I joined.
Yeah, so we were just kind of like just looking at a load of stuff, and it was one of them, and it got said, and it was like, yeah, we kind of like that, to be fair, and we just kept it, and I don't.
Then if you look at like the meaning behind it, I can't remember
it means begin.
Yeah, like I can't remember the exact word.
So exordium means like the beginning. So obviously, I suppose that's fairly fitting.
It was pretty fitting for the EP.
With obviously that being the first EP and actually like the beginning of the band as such.
That's cool. So what are like your specific musical influences? Like how did you go from not being interested in anything like this to where you're at today?
So as a kid, growing up, like, my dad had a really varied music taste. So he was into like a lot of American hip hop. So like, you know, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, 12. I used to listen to all of that. Then he'd listen to like Red Hot Chili Peppers, Stereophonics, and then he'd listen to like Linkin Park, Avril Lavigne, Paramore, My Chemical Romance, Fall Out Boy. So I kind of grew up listening to those and was interested in them. And then when I went into high school, someone who I was friends with was like, "Oh, you should check this out. Like, I think you'd like it." And it was Pray for Plagues by Bring Me the Horizon. And I listened to that and was like, "Yeah, okay, I like this." And that kind of started, like, that sent me down a rabbit hole where I went from that to then listening to like Art and Alexandria, Of Mice and Men, Crown the Empire, Suicide Side, and just kind of really branched out through like metalcore and deathcore of the late noughties, like 2010 period. That's just continued and continued as it's gone through.
Yeah, if I'm honest with you, parents wise, they kind of listened to me anyway, so I was kind of always
had a foot up.
Kind of, yeah, it was like so when I was younger, I listened to like a lot of Pantera, but also when I went through a stage listening to grunge, so I'd listen to like Soundgarden, like Pearl Jam, like Nirvana and stuff, and then if I'm honest with you, it was then I got onto Avenged Sevenfold, and I just spent an awful lot of time obsessed with them, and they were like the band I listened to for a very long time. And then, yeah, everything kind of blends. But I listen to a lot of like early 2000s new metal, if I'm honest. That is where I kind of venture to a lot when it comes to listening to music. So.
I'll admit that just hurt a bit. Liam said that he listened to Paramore and then went to high school, and left school at that point.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah,
something just happened.
Yeah, I see the thing, and I thought, okay, all right. Liam said about listening to Paramore and then going to high school, and I'd already left high school when I started listening to Paramore, and yeah, I was like, I was 16 when I found them. I'm like, I'm old now.
Yeah, so
I mean, like, yeah, right. my music thing, like similar sort of thing to like Jesse, really, because like my dad, I grew up with my old man listening to like Queen, AC/DC, Whitesnake, all those sort of things and that. And then when I started high school, sort of like in 2000, you had Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit had exploded at that point, a bit more than I heard before. So everyone was sort of getting into the new metal scene and that, and then it kind of like drifted off a bit. And then after I changed high school, I started getting into like the more pop punk, skater punk sort of stuff.
Yeah,
not that I could skate. I had a skateboard, couldn't use it. I had a skateboard, and it went till after college that I got into metal. So
yeah, that's fair, man. Yeah, I feel we all had pop punk era, 100%. We've all had.
Yeah, if you ever get with me and Jesse, mate, pop is on, is getting banged, mate.
Yeah. Well, I actually just said about Paramore again. Like my missus was getting on with the housework and everything earlier on, and she had the music blaring out and Paramore come on. I was like, I miss being 17 and having no responsibilities, and
you know,
sort of just getting up and making sure I don't get kicked out of college, and that's about it. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, like without trying to make you feel old, Richie, I was only 17 2 years ago. So yeah.
You make
No,
fucking.
oh, ancient. No? What's going on, man?
This is how Rob feels when we fucking bully him, innit?
See, that's the thing. I can hang around Rob, and he's 6 weeks older than me, and I'd let him know about it. Right.
That's 6 weeks. That's 6 weeks.
That 6 weeks makes all the difference, mate.
6 weeks is a lot. Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, man.
So sort of talk us through like some bits and pieces there that you guys have got coming up. Then like gigs, events, like recordings, etc. That like where people can check you out, like live and in person, within the coming weeks, months, if not years.
Right. So in June we've got 2 gigs. We're playing at Colchester on the 12th of June, which is for Impious Spirit Productions or Promotions. I can't actually remember what it is, if it's productions or promotions.
It's one of them.
Either way, it's one. But that's a Wednesday night down in Colchester. It's a pay what you want entry show. So you know, if you fancy some live music and you're within a decent distance to Essex, come down for that. And then we're playing Chelmsford that show we're playing with Mountain Peaks, who we've actually played with before, and are fucking amazing guys, and a band called Chapters, who I think from Brighton or that area. Looking forward to that. And then on the 28th of June, we're at Radio City Social in Chelmsford for a free entry show. And that's on a Friday night. And we are supporting Kemi Queen and playing with Divided Kingdom, who we saw in last night.
Yeah, and they are good.
Yeah, so that's another one we're looking forward to. We've announced a hometown show, Kings Lynn, on August 24th. That show's being headlined by Eyes of a Nihilist, who are another local band who we know
Great guys.
quite well. Again, really sound guys, really nice guys. And then we've got a gig at the moment that is in the works for later this year that is confirmed but not announced, and I can't say anything about it, but it's going to be huge.
Yes.
Nice. So, like, considering that you've already been gigging, what, a year now ish?
Just
yeah, it must be good, like, considering that you guys have got gigs in Colchester and in Chelmsford coming up. You know, like a band from Kings Lynn, like going to Chelmsford and to Colchester as well, like within the space of a year. Like, did you guys think that you'd be branching out to like that sort of
maybe
like further afield like this sort of quickly, or?
Yeah, maybe not so soon. I didn't think we'd branch out this quickly.
It was always kind of like
always wanted to, though.
Yeah, after we got a couple gigs under our belt, we were always looking forward, right? What's the next area that we're going to get into? How are we going to do that? And like we sit and we have a roadmap of where we want to be, how we're going to like what steps we're going to take along the way, like what we'd like to achieve this year or that year. And yeah, it was just kind of at this point, it was about getting as many shows under our belt as possible. I don't think there was ever really a plan to like get into Essex this year or where it was going to be. We were just happy to play shows and we just get out and meet people.
Yeah, we just want to like, obviously, the more shows you play, the better you're going to get. Like the tighter you are as a band, like every time it's a different experience, something like different. It's different every time. So like the more you play, the more obviously you get used to it. But no, I definitely didn't expect to branch out that far yet, if I'm honest.
So is there anywhere or anything that you guys would like to do within the next sort of 5 years, let's say, like as in like arenas, venues, cities, or even countries that you guys would like to visit and actually like play in?
I think, if I'm honest with you, if in 5 years it's a massive long shot, I'd like to play download.
Yeah, definitely. Or so looking at it on a smaller scale, within the next couple of years, I'd ideally like to do our first festival.
Yeah, festival. Festival play.
Just any size of festival, just to get out and do one.
because there's
You know,
a different
as long as it
vibe.
makes
Isn't it? It's a different vibe to being like obviously in a venue. Obviously, where if you're doing festivals, it is very much like it's a different atmosphere. It's very much. I feel like probably more fun. Very much like there's a lot of.
Yeah,
It's for a longer period of time. A lot of the time as well. So
you know, you're going out and you're seeing live music all day over the course of 2 or 3 days. Like it's a different world to, you know, turning up to the venue 2 hours before doors open, doing your sound check, playing there, at the end of the night, and just like,
festival playing would be different. Very, very much. Yeah.
So with some of like the bands you've played with in the past and that, for instance, like Ataka, who are fucking awesome. If anyone wants to listen to them, honestly, they. If you guys want to branch out to like the Midlands sort of direction, cause they're from the
Birmingham,
Black Country, aren't they?
Yeah.
And that would you sort of like want to get like hold of them? Say, look, yeah, we're thinking about coming this way. Is there any way we could like do some gigs together? Or
I mean, we are in contact with the guys from Ataka fairly often. Rob speaks to their guitarist quite often. I exchanged a couple of messages with their and Hayden as well. So yeah, like, you know, if we were looking then
that way,
then maybe it'd be a case of like maybe not so much messaging them and being like, "Oh, have you got a spot for us?" but like asking to put us in touch with like promoters in the area or something like that. Or we have had conversations with them recently about trying to bring them over this way and show with us. That hasn't come to fruition yet, but that is something that there's interest from both sides.
Definitely want to work on it.
Yeah.
That's good. Pretty much covered everything, I think. So in terms of having gigs and that, like if you could, if you're gonna set up a 4 or 5 band gig at any point, in the future, like what sort of bands would you want to play with? I mean, whether there's guys like, you know, you at the minute are more realistically likely to get on a gig with, or dream tours sort of thing. Who would you want sort of, whether you got a thing for either or, if you get what I mean? I really hope I didn't push that too much.
If you go with dream, there's going to be some name. That's it. Still, that's hard.
That's hard. It's hard to just like narrow it down to 5 bands you'd want to play with, because let's be real, we want to play with all of them. But I don't know if I could 100% like nail down 5 bands. I mean, I know one of yours.
Yeah.
So Bring Me's up there.
Yeah.
For me, would definitely be Avenged Sevenfold. I mean, I'd 100% like to gig with Slipknot. Like, why wouldn't you?
Bullet.
Nah, I'm not. But not so much. If I'm honest with you, if I'm talking big, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know, even like taken away from that, like, you know, there are just way too many. There are way too many bands that are like Enter Shikari. I'd love to do a gig with Enter Shikari because that would fucking go off.
Yeah.
And then you've got, I don't know, like for me, again, going metalcore bands like Andrea would be quite cool to do a show with, even though it's not the same Arson Alexandria of like 2009 when they released their first album. I think that would still be a really cool show to play.
I'd love to gig like Korn, like just bands like that, you know, like it's hard to narrow down that many, like when in that situation 100%.
All right. With your last couple of gigs, you managed to get part of the UK tour with Once Awake.
Yeah.
That was quite a big deal for you guys, with them having previously toured with, that you mentioned, the Slipknot, with Knotfest.
Yeah, they played.
Knotfest, right? So what was it like sort of like, sort of getting in contact with them and discussing everything, and then being part of it?
They actually approached us. So Rob, I don't know how Rob knows. Honestly, I have no idea how Rob knows people. But he knew Once Awake and was on like first name basis with most of the guys, I'm pretty sure. And when I joined the band, so we're going back to like, nearly 2 years ago, one of the first things he said was like, I know this band from Norway. We will at some point in the future. And, at that point I've joined the band. I'm like, yeah, all right, cool.
You say them sort of things, don't you? But you don't actually expect it.
And then, about January, I think, or December. I don't know. They were pretty much confirmed most of the other dates on their tour, and Hans contacted Rob and was like, "Look, we've got a date, and we want to play a show with you. Can you set it up?" Rob contacted me because he's useless with social media and range and stuff, and was like, "Look, I've just had this message from Hans. I'm going to put you in a group with him, and then like try and sort some stuff out." I was like, all right, cool. So what unfolded after that was 4 months of absolute fucking lunacy, trying to sort out venue, trying to sort out band, trying to make sure that we got there on time, and all the general setting a show up. But yeah, so we set up the first show in Norwich, and then when that was kind of coming along, I think we'd confirmed a lineup, we'd confirmed the venue. We were just waiting to actually like essentially pay the venue so we could get it in the diary. And Once Awake contacted us and were like, yeah, a couple of days after, we've got another 3 days, so if you want, we can set up a second show.
We ended up doing 2.
Yeah, and so then we ended up setting a show at the 6-6 bar in Cambridge with them, and played twice, in 4 days with them. Line up, we had a band called Katoan who came to support, and a band Catan. Yeah. Both bands, absolutely fucking great bands, great music, lovely guys as well.
100%.
If you get a chance to check out either of them live,
couldn't speak higher of them, like, to be fair.
No, definitely not. We were with the Bankatan guys last night. We went to see them in Cambridge, and sat having a chat with them, and yeah, just fucking lovely people. And the same for Owen as well. Absolutely lovely people. If you get a chance to see them, they're in your city, they're in your town, please go and see them, because both of those guys, both of those bands know how to put on a show.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. I'll be honest. I ran out of questions about 4 questions ago. All right.
So for people listening to this podcast that have never actually heard of you guys, where can they catch you on like social media, etc.?
So we're on all major social media platforms. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. Most of them is at Celestial Band or at Celestial. I can't remember which ones are which. I know Instagram's at Celestial Band. It should just be Celestial on Facebook. I think it's Celestial Band on TikTok as well and on Twitter. But our profile picture is the same across all social media. We're on all major platforms as well, with our music, so Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, Apple Music, Deezer, and we've also got all the links you can find on our Facebook. We have a link to our link tree which has all the other socials on there, and we have a big sell as well for our merch.
So Richie, have you got anything to add on to today?
Yeah.
Of course.
Obviously,
if you come up with that fucking dinosaur question again, then I swear to Christ.
No. Obviously, we're a nerd podcast and that. Which do you guys partake in the nerd culture?
I probably do more so than Jesse.
What are you trying to say, man?
Well, I said I do more than you. You're a gamer, but I watch
am a
anime
gamer.
and shit
Yeah,
as
I
well.
don't watch anime.
So-
I'm sorry, boys. I'm sorry.
So yeah, we're both gamers. I'm into anime. Yeah, I don't really know what you can do this more.
What
Nerdic.
sort of stuff do you play?
Fucking everything, literally.
I play House Flipper.
Yeah, Jeff.
You play what?
House Flipper.
House Flipper.
What is that?
Check it out, mate. You're the nerd here. Check it out.
Presuming I can find it on YouTube, yeah? Hang on.
You can find it on YouTube. It does exactly
House.
mate. You buy a
Honestly.
house, you flip it.
Yeah, man.
Oh, what? Like buying a house and what? Selling it like for?
Why is somebody
like,
telling me that you're sitting there? Imagine someone getting a house going. Whoop.
Yeah, just throw it upside down.
Hang on, I think I've had it. Can I spin my camera around? Hang on. Can I? Bollocks. Hang on. No, I don't think I can. I've seen that. Hang on.
What I'm talking about.
Hang on. Skip. It's fucking ads on YouTube. Do me anything. Oh, it's kind of like kind of looks like what's it called? Hello Neighbor, doesn't it? Or have you ever seen that Hello Neighbor?
Yeah,
Oh, God, I just found it on the. It's on the bloody Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, man.
The bloke playing Richie kind of looks like the Miz, in all fairness. Like this video that I've just found. YouTuber TMARTN2. If that rings as well as 21.
No.
Yeah, no.
I have no idea.
No, I've got to find this again.
What are these fat asses about? What anime do you watch?
So I'm not watching it at the moment because I kind of let my Crunchyroll subscription lapse. But Attack on Titan, One Piece, I'm like 500 or 600 episodes into. Attack on Titan.
You've just started then.
Sorry?
You've just started it then.
Yeah, pretty much, mate. Yeah, I'm only about halfway through. Fucking, that's so long. But like things like Dead Man Wonderland as well. I've watched that. That's not too bad. And then like your old school animes like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. Like,
oh, I loved Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid. Fucking love that.
Well, what do you mean as a kid? I rewatched that like 2 years ago, I think.
Well, considering that I was only born in November of 2004, you know, like that sort of, but
2004.
Yeah.
Got fucking 8 years on you, bro. Jesus.
Why? Like, how old did you fucking think I was?
Older.
No
comment.
comment.
I've got 8 years on you.
Yeah. Yeah, you have. Yeah, you have.
You're old, man.
Not as old as Rob, but you're still old.
Like, how long's between you and Rob Ritchie? 6 weeks or something?
Yeah, his birthday started June, mine's the end of July, so.
See, like, those 6 weeks count, see? So.
They make so much difference.
All
At least they don't look as old as Rob. I suppose that's a bonus.
That is a bonus. You actually look about mid-30s, where Rob looks fucking 60.
Well, I mean, there's one big thing. I mean, I've still got this stuff.
Good
That's a bonus.
Good man.
Like the only good thing to like the age that I look is that I never get never get ID'd in pubs no more. Thank fuck. So,
I got a couple of weeks ago.
Mate, I got ID'd in Morrison's for a monster, mate. What are you on? 16? What do you think I am?
So like you hate a 16-year-old.
The last time I got ID'd, I was 26, and that's because I was going out with a guy that I used to kickbox with and his mates. And because they were all sort of like 21, 22, they were all getting ID'd, and I just got ID'd because I was with them rather than, I needing ID'ing. I got ID'd by association.
You can believe what you want. You needed IDing.
I was only a globe. We weren't anything special.
You're special, Richie. Like, let's be honest. But
That's what can worms you are open there, Bobby.
How long have I known you now?
Too long.
There we go.
It's fucking warm in here, isn't it?
No, I'm not too bad.
Right, I think.
He's still watching House, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what the group chat's going to be like later on now. It's just like, oh my God, you've all got to try this.
I found my new obsession. Yay!
Gone out.
Well, we're drunk voicemails again. Voice
Honestly.
messages saying about how good it is, and
You would not regret.
You'll be getting a
Banging
message
game.
next week, and it'll be like, I've not slept for 3 days.
I've been beating house flipper, mate. What are you on about?
Wouldn't be the first time either. So,
Rate it.
Fair play.
but yeah, judging by the looks of things, it's literally just you two that we're going to be joined by today, which is a shame. But obviously, you know, people have lives, etc., like outside of podcast and band-wise, etc. But yeah, like, have you guys got anything to add into the end of this podcast?
Thank you for having us on. Really
That's
really
not something
appreciate
to add.
it.
That's not something to add. Cheers to that name.
Being polite, you dick.
No, it was nice to come on.
Like, you can't fucking batter me and then say the same thing, you prick.
Anything to add? Have we got anything to add?
Go and check out Exordium on Spotify.
Yeah. I'll second that, to be
One final question. What's your favourite dinosaur?
You prick.
Look, when we grow up, we don't get asked this anymore, okay?
Yeah,
People
fair.
need to be asked.
Sorry.
Go on.
Yeah, what's your favourite dinosaur?
Gotta be a T-Rex, mate.
Oh, mate.
I think something that lethal that if it fell over would be fucked is hilarious.
Yeah, I'm just going to say the same. I don't even know any of them. You got like a pterodactyl. Is that a dinosaur?
Yeah, that's dinosaur.
Yeah, I'll take that one. That's got a cool name. Pterodactyl. Mate.
That's 2 pods in a row. We've had someone going, yeah, this dinosaur. And the other one's gone, oh, well, the dinosaur that's like this.
No, I knew that. That's better than nothing.
Yeah, he
Pterodactyl, yeah.
don't know nothing else about it. He just knows the name.
Ain't that the one that flies?
That'll get you.
No, there we go. You know, I've watched Jurassic Park, mate. What are you on about? Get out of here, man.
It's the wrongly named Zord of the Pink Power Ranger in the original series.
Sorry?
So it's the wrongly named Zord of the Pink Power Ranger in the original Mighty Morphin series. Because it wasn't a pterodactyl, it was a pteranodon.
I'm so glad you explained that, because you might as well have been speaking tongues to me.
Yeah, that was basically foreign, to be honest.
They're the same shit, for fuck's sake, Rich. Do you know what I mean?
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
They both fly. Do you know what I mean? It's like birds, right?
Fantastic boys.
Like, they're all the exact same. Do you know what I mean?
Bitch, I will fucking fight you.
If only I was at home, then I'd have got mine up. But yeah. But no, I'm fucking dog sitting now, but hey, I'll live. But yeah. I was going to say to them, the line's gone fucking blank. Richie, help. Right,
no.
yeah. What?
You're the pro compared to me.
Well, doing this, I've only got like 2 years on you, like in terms of podcasting. But hey, anyways, Jesse, Liam, it's been a pleasure having you guys on this evening. Honestly, thank you ever so much for coming on. Again, like if you want to refresh everyone's memory on upcoming dates and venues, etc., and social media platforms where they can catch you live and in person, and your social media, etc.
Yeah, so you can catch us on all major social media platforms and all major streaming platforms under either Celestial or Celestial Band, and that is Celestial spelled SOLESTIAL. Because people always think Celestial is in like CEL.
Yeah, the amount of times my phone has corrected it, like when I've gone to like type it in and go to check stuff on the thing. It's learned now. It's learned to auto finish.
You're autocorrect. No, that's mate.
And then you can catch us at Coda Colchester on the 12th of June, Radio City Social on the 28th of June, and at the Lattice House, Kings Lynn, on the 24th of August.
Love the Lattice House.
Get down there.
Better be seeing you there then.
Get down there then. No.
Last time I was there, I went and spewed all over the council. So
Over the council?
yeah.
Oh, the
It's over the
building.
road.
Yeah.
I had a bit too much. I had too much to drink, enough to eat beforehand, and after a bottle full of Sol later, I was like, I feel funny. I'm gonna get some air. Went outside and then went over the council and spewed everywhere.
Worst thing you could. It's so much worse.
Yeah, because it's also a job centre in that council office, isn't it? Like, is that the one that I'm thinking of?
Nah, job centre is down by
We're talking
where
about
Peacocks used to be.
That's all.
No, like that's the job centre plus. Like, there's a job centre in the.
the
council
other
office.
side of Tuesday Marketplace. Yeah.
So where the fuck's the Lattice House then?
it's in town, mate.
Behind the Duke's Head.
It's not near the council offices where he threw up.
You know where Duke's Head is?
Yeah, yeah,
There's a road down the side of it. You walk down there, get to the bottom of that road, and that's where the lattice
yeah,
is.
because the fucking
I love the
that's
pub,
what
I
I'm
have no
saying.
idea where it is.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a fucking job centre, like inside that fucking thing you get there. The council office. Because ain't that what used to
I
be
don't
the
go in there.
Freebridge building?
I ain't got a clue.
What the fuck is going on?
I
I
don't
don't fucking know.
Hey, Liam, this could be so much worse, all right? This level of confusion is.
I just don't know where the is, to be fair. I just don't know. I ain't got a clue where it is.
Like the only
We've all
pub
got jobs,
that
we don't
I
need a-
fucking like in this town is the fucking Globe. Like only because that's spoons. So, but anyways, yeah. So, anyways, Richie, thank you very much for organising this evening. It's been a pleasure.
I just want to say thank you to Liam and Jesse for joining us tonight. I sort of really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been good, man. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, honestly, guys, thank you both for coming on. And yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the Nerdic Pro podcast, thank you all very much for listening to this another edition of the expansion of the Nerdic Pro podcast. With me on the line that way has been Nerdic Pro stablemate Mr. Richard Stoneham. Underneath has been Liam and Jesse of the Kingsland based band Celestial, the 5-piece metal band. Make sure that you go follow them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, etc., and find them in various places, such as Colchester, Chelmsford, and the Lattice House in Kingsland. And yeah, so anyways, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you all very much, and we shall be seeing you all later. Thank you all very much, and goodbye.
Bye.
Now, let's see if I can end this properly. Right, and enter in.